Hey babes, thanks so much for being here. This is your all signs Aries through to Pisces for the week commencing the 20th to the 25th of July. So let's see what is coming towards Aries, Sun, Moon and Rising, please, for this week. Sorry. We have got the Chariot, we've got the Eight of Wands, and we have got the Hanged Man. So I think a perspective shift. I think fast-moving action. I think fast-moving decisions. I don't think you're waiting around for things to happen. I think that you are going out and getting them. I think that people are going to be contacting you, reaching out to you. You're going to be receiving help where needed. And I think what's going to happen here is it's going to propel you into a new mindset, a new way of looking at things, and a real positive change in your life, and emotional fulfillment. So props to Aries. Right, Taurus, Sun, Moon and Rising for the week commencing the 20th to the 26th of July. I apologize. 26th of July, not the 25th. Right, okay, so Taurus, we have got the King of Swords, Page of Swords. I don't know what is wrong with me today, I can't talk. King of Swords, Page of Swords, Ace of Cups, and then the Empress, there you are, Taurus, at the bottom of the deck. Okay, this week I think building strong boundaries and curiosity. And I think with that comes an overflow of emotion, an offer, love. I think you're finally putting your foot down. Yeah, I think you're putting your foot down, you're making some decisions, and you are not suffering any fools, Taurus. And what I mean by that is you're not allowing people into your energy unless they can give back, okay? Because your energy it's incredibly alluring at the moment. It's very, very magnetic. It's very, very empowering to be around you. So I think having a strong boundary up isn't a bad thing, because that is going to help you discern who should be there and who shouldn't be there, okay? Sorry, that was a bit clunky. And I also forgot to do the timestamp for that, so I will do it from Gemini. Very sorry. Right, Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising for the 20th to the 26th of July, please. Ooh, Gemini. I mean, here you are, Gem. We've got the Page of Pentacles, the Seven of Swords, the Queen of Swords, and then at the bottom of the deck we have got the Hermit card here. Okay, for me this is, I think you need to knock yourself out of your routine a little bit. I think you need to start doing something for you. I think there is an element of bored. You're a bit bored. Yeah, I think you're a bit bored. I don't think you're being stimulated enough. Take that however you wish to mean it. But I mean, like, I feel like your conversations aren't giving you what you need them to give you. So perhaps you're not socializing enough or going out and seeing people enough with this Hermit here. So I do wonder for you, Gemini, if this could be a week of shaking things up a little bit. Maybe, yes, I know that the Seven of Swords is a bit of a dodgy card, but in this instance, I think actually it is you choosing yourself and being a little bit selfish. So what? Like, sometimes you have to be selfish. And I think within that selfishness, it'll make you a bit more curious about what's going on in your life, about the people in your life that, I'm not saying you've ignored, of course not, but that you maybe haven't put an olive branch out for in a while. Do you know what I mean? I think you need to go out a bit more and do more things this week, Gemini. That I feel like that really just didn't make sense at all. So I hope that gave someone some clarity. Right, Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, 20th to the 26th of July. Ooh, very nice, Cancer. Very nice, Cancer. Death, Strength, Six of Wands. Change is incoming for you. This is something that you've been patiently waiting for, I think. It's a change that you've been working towards, manifesting, bringing forth. It's a very intuitively guided change. I love with this card, you can see the moon in the background, which is, of course, a Cancer card. We have got Strength here, and I like that it's come out next to the Six of Wands, because I think this represents to me someone who has overcome something and learnt from something, so much so that it has like propelled them into accomplishment and recognition. And this recognition can come from within. It doesn't have to come outwardly. It doesn't have to be external validation, whatever you want to say. But I do actually think that other people are starting to recognize this change within you, this difference in you, and they want to be around and they want to be a part of it as well. So I think quite an inspiring week to be a Cancer. So that's very exciting. Sorry, this is a bit of a speed round today. And we've got Leo. Leo, Sun, Moon and Rising, please, for the 20th to the 26th of July. One more. Nice. Wheel of Fortune, Six of Cups, Four of Pentacles, with the Ace of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. I think you've got a lucky week ahead of you. I think you're going to receive offers. This could be job offers. I wouldn't be surprised if a few of you are getting some job offers. I think this is culmination. Again, similarly to Cancer with the manifesting things in, I think you have been manifesting change in, and I think it's on its way for you, and I think it's very positive and it's very aligned. I do think that with the Six of Cups coming in, that whatever this change is and whatever the offer is it's going to fit well for you. It's going to make you feel good about yourself and feel good about what's next and how it can kind of build for you. With this Four of Pentacles here, I would just be aware of not being too, I don't want to say the word stubborn. It doesn't feel like stubborn. It feels like not flexible, but that is not the word, obviously. I'm just going to use that. Not being too tough. Like, I think you need to have a little bit of room for movement, room for flexibility, room for being a bit malleable to allow this offer to come in to its fullest form. Does that make sense? So if you need to be a little bit open to opportunities that come your way and they don't look exactly how you were expecting them to look, doesn't necessarily mean that they're not going to give you what you were hoping for. Does that make sense? So just be open, I think, is mainly the message there for Virgo. Sorry, Leo. We're on to Virgo now. Gosh, I'm not quite with it today, am I? Right, Virgo, Sun, Moon and Rising. Week commencing 20th to the 26th of July, please. We've got the Ace of Cups, we've got the King of Swords, we've got the Lovers. At the bottom of the deck here, we've got the Five of Pentacles. I think this is you leaving an era of feeling left out, of feeling not included, a bit isolated, a bit kept in the dark, like people aren't that bothered about you, Virgo, and I think that is ending. It is ending. We've got the Ace of Cups and the King of Swords, so I think potentially there could be a nice conversation with quite it doesn't have to be a masculine person, but a masculine energy that is very kind of stoic in your area, in your life, energy, whatever. I think there could be some healing there this week. It does feel to me like there's going to be choices made, conversations had, emotion shared, discussions that are not only logical but also very, very healing and very, very from the heart, which may lead you to kind of understand past actions of other people better, which might help you understand this period a little bit actually. So I think you've got some clarity coming your way, and I think you've got a real understanding of why things have been going the way they have been for you. So I just feel like everything's gonna make sense for you next week, Virgo. Okay, Libra. Sorry, again, this is a very quick one. I've got a little bit of toothache, so that's probably why I'm not quite with it. Right, Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, 20th to the 26th of July. There you are, Libra. Chariot, 8 of Wands, Justice, and the Star. So lots and lots of harmony, lots and lots of inspiration, lots of movement. Very similar to Aries here. I think you're making moves. I think you're making real quick decisions. I love that saying. I don't know the exact saying, so I'm not going to get it right now, but it's where people they don't faff around and think too much, which I love a Libra, but Libras can do that a little bit. You're just kind of making a choice and sticking with that choice, riding it out, and it does seem to be working really well for you. There is a lot of, you know, harmonious balance here for you. I would say that there is a lot of strength, a lot of understanding why you're doing these things, which obviously you need to understand actions that you're taking, duh. But I mean, it's like on a deeper level. And I think you're going to start seeing like the beauty kind of play out in your decision making. So when you've made decision 1, 2, and 3, they've then linked up to make this beautiful outcome over here. And you can kind of like stand back and appreciate what you've built. And I do think as well, with the Star card, that for me is very much not seeing into the future or anything, but you've got some, you can kind of see where it's headed before it's got there. And I think you need to trust that intuition when it comes to your decision making, because it is very in tune at the moment, Libra. Right, Scorpio. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising for 20th to the 26th of July, please. Scorpio, you've got 4 cards. What's that for you? We've got Page of Cups. We have got 8 of Pentacles, Page of Wands, 5 of Wands, and then we have got the King of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Okay, I feel like this week could be a little bit of a frustrating week. I'm feeling frustrated for you. Yeah, I feel like potentially whoever this is that you're dealing with, this Page of Cups, I think they're just it's like an annoying energy of someone who could be doing more than they are doing. And in turn, that is making you have to do more than you need to do because you're not getting the correct support. A little bit frustrating. Yeah, I can feel the frustration actually. I do feel like you're going to say something. I do think there's going to be a confrontation, but I do think it'll work out in your favour. Oh yeah, you've got the Knight of Cups under there as well. So, you know, the Page is going to turn into the Knight and say sorry and there'll be a reconciliation, all right? Excuse me. So I do think you are the one who holds the cards, but you are also the one doing all of the work. So a bit frustrating for you next week, Scorpio, but I do think you're going to be able to nip it. Maybe not in the very first instance of the bud, but I think you're going to reach the end of your tether. You're going to say something, and it might be a bit of a battle, but I do overall feel like reconciliation and understanding will be achieved within that, okay? Right, Sagittarius. 1530 for Sagittarius. Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising. For the week commencing 20th to the 26th, please. Oh, nice, Sag. You have got the 10 of Pentacles. Oh, I have got some water. Lovely. Sorry, Sag. You have got the 10 of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune, the 6 of Cups, and you also have the Page of Pentacles here. Abundance, generosity, security, family. Everything's coming in for you. This is a real good week. I don't even necessarily feel like this is anything you've had to do. I think it is just being kind of laid on you. It might be for a lot of Sagittarians, it will be something you've worked for, and it will be the fruits of your labor. But I do also think for a lot of people, something's coming in, and I don't think it's something you have been aware of. This could be, I mean, for some people, it might be an inheritance coming through, which is obviously a sad thing. There isn't any other indication other than the 10 of Pentacles that is what it would be, okay? But sometimes it can be inheritance. But I do think a lot of abundance is going to kind of land in your lap. It doesn't have to be financial. I do think it probably will be financial for a lot of people because the page is at the bottom there with the 10 of Pentacles as well. I think it is going to spark some real deep emotions, some history for you. And I think you're going to feel really victorious. I think it's going to give you a new lease on life. If you've been feeling a little bit stuck and a little bit smaller than you would prefer to feel, I think by the end of next week, you're going to feel much bigger, which is a good thing. That's what we want. Right, Capricorn. Capricorn, Sun, Moon and Rising. For the week commencing 20th to the 26th of July, please. King of Wands, I was going to say. King of Swords, 2 of Cups, 6 of Wands, 10 of Cups. Very nice. Very, very nice. I think a real partnership. There is a real partnership in your life that helps you lead and helps you stay on track and stay on top. I think this partnership is being nurtured this week. It's a real nurturing week. It's a real family week. It's a real celebration week. You might be in the middle of planning things to increase your love. So some people might be planning a wedding. Some people might be planning a proposal. All sorts of different things. Someone might be thinking, oh, I'm going to ask that person out and it's going to end well, that kind of thing. But yeah, there's someone here, there's someone in your life that really they are your biggest cheerleader. And when they are cheering you on, Capricorn, there is literally nothing can go wrong. Well, you know, in the grand scheme of things, you're always winning because they are in your corner. Does that make sense? Like, it doesn't really matter what else is an outcome as long as they're there cheering you on. You know, it's actually very lovely as that. So yeah, really nice harmonious energy for you, Capricorn, next week. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, please, for 20th to the 26th of July. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising. Woo. There you are. 10 of Cups, 7 of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, and the 4 of Cups here. Interesting mix. Interesting mix. I think that you are going to... I actually think you're going to get some good news. I think some good news is coming in, and it's almost unbelievable and shocking. I think it is like a real awareness over something that's been going on around you, or something you've been working on. It could be something with your family, with it being the 10 of Cups here. What I do think it does when you get this, or this moment happens, it doesn't have to be like a phone call. It could even be like an event that's happening around you. I think what that does is it gives you some inspiration. You're looking back on the things you've done, the things you've worked on, the areas of life that you've been leading forth with a bit of an iron fist. You know, she's the Iron Lady, is the Queen of Swords. She is a bit of a bitch, okay? And she doesn't suffer fools at all. However, is incredibly understanding. I do think you've got a week ahead of you of feeling very victorious, very driven, very, very driven, and having a real clear understanding of where you want the next step or the next phase of your life to go. It's like a real strong planning week, because I feel like something is being celebrated, which usually means the hard work is over, we've celebrated, let's move on. And then the next kind of phase is being put out for you. The 4 of Cups is showing up, I think. I know a lot of people are like, oh, it can be a boredom card, it can be not really looking to what's been offered to you, but I don't see it like that here. I think you already have your things ahead of you. You don't need the other thing, so you don't need to give it any attention. You don't need to give it your energy, and I think that's where that's coming from. So actually very, very sure of yourself. That's what next week is going to be. It's going to make you feel very, very sure of yourself, Aquarius. Right, finally we have got Pisces. Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, please, for the 20th to the 26th of July. Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising, please. Ooh. Oh dear, Pisces, are you all right? Got the 6 of Swords, the 5 of Cups, and the Queen of Cups. Queen of Swords at the bottom. I think you're moving on. I think it's a difficult move. I think you're moving on. And although these are sad, soft cards, it doesn't mean they're not as strong as the other cards that do show physical strength or whatever in them. Because having the strength to do something that you know is going to make you feel sad, that you know is going to make you feel out of control or not supported, that is strength, okay? And I think although the journey and the change might be a little bit bumpy and a little bit rough, ultimately it is connecting your heart to your head. And that can be so difficult to do when you're in a very vulnerable emotional place. It can be incredibly hard to match up your logical thinking with your emotional thinking. You've got both the queens here. That tells me that you're very, very, what is the word I'm looking for? I cannot get my words out today. Very intuitively guided, both logically. You can have logical intuition, I swear, and emotionally. And they're very, very connected, both of them. They don't have the same outfits on, but they actually do have very similar outfits on. I've never noticed that before. You know, their robes down here, the blue, is actually very connected. So, you know, I think there's a harmonious way of being for you this week, and a way of responding and acting. And yes, it might be difficult and it might be hard, and you've probably left something behind that you didn't want to. But I think ultimately it is going to give you so much more understanding and depth. And I do feel like you'll feel a lot better towards the end of the week anyway. Right, thank you so much for watching me today. I have not been on top form with this toothache, so I do apologise. That was quite clunky and a bit fast. I'm also really sorry that I forgot to write down Aries and Taurus timestamps, so I hope you forgive me. But yes, thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you next week.